If only you could see me now. If only you could tell me why you disappeared, you made me cry. So don't come back. Oh, you never took the time to say. You didn't think you should explain. Like I don't care, you're kidding me. to be never on your own. Something you're not telling me yet. I believe it's true. You're all for someone new. I've never felt this stupid thinking I'm enough for you. Tell me, is she cute? Is she my substitute? I've never felt so certain that I've had enough for you. Hey cheater, do you feel better? Now that you've broken my trust, oh, boy, do you even remember that love is more than just lust? Always on the go, like you got a place to be, never on your own. Something you're not telling me.
Cheater.
I believe it's true. You're all for someone new.
Wow.
I've never felt this stupid thinking
Oh, you're
I'm
talking
enough
to
for
you.
you.
What a
Tell me,
pair.
is she cute? Is she my substitute? I've never felt so certain that I've
Keep on with.
had enough for you.
Do-do,
I've
do-do,
had
do-do, do-do,
enough
do-do.
of you. You're just too much. I'm way too good for you. You're just a bluff. I'm so fed up with you. It's bad enough that I'm way too good for you. You, I believe it's true. You're all for someone new. I've never felt this stupid thinking I'm enough for you.
What you gonna do when highlight catch an attitude? Drop to them knees and show gratitude. Kiss my ring, chick. This song right here is for all the fellas out there taking care of business and making that money to provide for their ladies, provide for their family. And to all the ladies out there, the fellas gonna need a little bit more than a big piece of chicken. If you got a good man and you want for nothing, and you wanna keep that man, you need to learn how to check that attitude. You need to show some appreciation. You need to show some respect. Girl, you need to bow down. All my fellas, tell your lady. Bow to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Kiss the ring, bow to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Pay homage to the king in your life. Wisdom and security, I give that. Devotion and honesty, I show that. Passion and love, you feel that? Bow down, girl, you need to show some respect. Obedience and loyalty, I need that. Friendship and trust, I've earned that. Gratitude, appreciation, I deserve that. Bow down, pay homage to the king in your life. Baby girl, what's the deal? Got no time for freaking girl, you're acting mad. Never want for nothing cause I'm paying the bill. Sleeping all day, the house is filthy. No meal. Come on, girl, give me some feedback. Let me know what's good, what's up. Where's your head at? Giving me attitude, not today, girl. Dead that. Strip off them clothes, I'm tryna beat that. Bed that. You're really saying not tonight? Not tonight. My blood is boiling hot, girl. You're getting me tight. Aw, man. To the right. Don't let that door hit your ass when you leave. You talking like you hot, you not. Bugging out. Shorty, I know dime pieces, trust me, you not. I can get a next chick, next one. Like Gucci said, in the next 15 minutes. You ain't special, don't be foolish. Running around town like you rich, no, I'm rich. Without me, you wouldn't even have that. I'm Scrooge McDuck swimming in money. Hold my top hat. Park Avenue lifestyle, you love it. You're acting out of order and now you're gonna lose it. You claim that you're in love with me and love with me. You wanna be my wifey, be my wifey. That's looking pretty bleak, unlikely. You should've paid homage, girl, you fucked up. Can't do it, no more, I'm done. I'm fed up, game over, clock ran out. Girl, your time's up, get your things, have a nice life. Keep your head up like Shaq and Kobe was a good team. But now we broke up, should've bowed to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Kiss the ring, bow to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Pay homage to the king in your life. Wisdom and security, I give that. Devotion and honesty, I show that. Passion and love, you feel that? Bow down, girl, you need to show some respect. Obedience and loyalty, I need that. Friendship and trust, I've earned that. Gratitude, appreciation, I deserve that. Bow down, pay homage to the king in your life. Come on, girl, you know you love it. Stop tripping in front and no shame to do it. All I do for you, bow down, kiss that. Pucker up, girl, you need to show some respect. Come on, girl, you know you love it. Stop tripping in front nothing no shame to do it. All I do for you, girl, you know you better kiss that. Bow down, pay homage to the king in your life. Come on, you know you love it. Come on, you know you love it. What you gonna do when highlight catch an attitude? Drop to them knees and show gratitude. Come on, you know you love it. Come on, girl, you know you love it. What
What's going on? What's going on? We're back. Shout out to the CIA. Get the likes up. Hit the like button. We should be over 2,000 likes. Come on. Double time, double time, double time. Let's get it. Come on. In the chat room. You know how we do this. Age, city, gender. Let's get it. Come on. Tell them good lies, because we're fine over here no matter what. Let them lie. Let them talk. Let them quote. Let them squawk. Let them say what they say and do what they do. Come on. I'm a PhD. I'm 35 years old from Houston. 25-year-old man from Chi-Town. 28-year-old man from H-Town. 34-year-old Baltimore man. 35 years old from NOLA in the house. 31-year-old male from California Riverside. Yeah. You know, it's funny, when you get it down to members only, all the men are representing. Where you at, ladies? Uh-oh. 30, 44-year-old female from the Bay Area. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Remember, keep it cool, keep it classy. Bop ba da bop ba da ba da bop ba da. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on, everybody? Shout out to the CIA, the confident, intelligent, and assertive men out there. One love, the FBI, you feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies. We are back in effect with another show, starting off the week strong as we round the corner on Black History Month. So, little housekeeping notes. If you didn't catch my community tab earlier today, in order to be on the show, going forward, in order to be on the show, you must cam up. That's right. No more anonymous caulking. No more just sitting to the side. Now, do you necessarily have to be on the YouTube show? Not necessarily, but you can be. You need to be on the camera so I can see who you are. The rules are there. Let me go through them real quick for those of you who may or not have seen them. So we're all on the same page, because honestly, the call-in portion of the show is what most people like to get into anyway. And production update. In order to participate in the live call-in portion of the show, all callers must be visible and on camera during your call. No photos. Means you're not a picture of you. You need to be there. No green screens. Light source must be in front of you, not behind you, drowning out the light. Clear audio, meaning get off the Bluetooth and speaker and unmute yourself. No exceptions. This is already the policy on Instagram, and it will be strictly enforced going today. Your participation in the show, the chat room, the comment section, or any other places on this platform is your implied consent, whether you give it or not. So that's what it is. That's what it is. And if you don't want to participate, cool. You are free to watch the show in anonymity. You don't have to say a word. Don't say a thing. No one will know you're there. Don't chat. Don't comment. But if you want to be a part of the show, you're going to be a part of the show. And in order to call in, you must be over here at least. Now, being over here visible does not necessarily mean you have to be on the show. If you actually have legitimate privacy concerns, whatever, I don't have to put you on screen, but I am going to verify who I am speaking to. And I honestly think that's what we should be doing on YouTube as a whole. Far too many people can just get on panels, platforms, and just talk without anyone knowing who these people are. And you can't get on network TV doing that. You got to show yourself. But where are my manners? We're down about 600 likes. So guys, we need to get the likes up over halfway. If not, that's the song you're going to hear. Look, man, it's real simple. Keep the likes up. Likes, dislikes, the engagement. I get it. You guys probably were excited. You came in, you're like, ooh, another show. All right, I get it. But let's get into it. Candle snuffer. Oh, speaking of which, candle of the evening. The OG from Diptyque called Bay. Roses and Berries. Probably one of the most popular candles from the Diptyque line. Love that scent. Yeah, guys. All the good stuff to light them and cut them and everything else. And the fragrance of the evening, Roja Dove, Crystal Oud. The beautiful thing about this, it doesn't jack up your clothing. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, shall we? Anthony said, hey, what's the candle of the evening? I know. They were like, hey, man, we got to know these things. These things are important. I do want to mention real quickly, this is Black History Month, and I want to highlight something in the middle of the show. You know what? Let's go ahead and do it right now. Do I want to talk about this right now? Yeah, let's do this. Shout out to YouTube. But I wanted to bring something up front. And this is what was on the YouTube live feed. Celebrate Black History Month. Guys, I anticipate after the video, everybody go watch the video of the young lady, the artist who made it. I listened to the story. From what I understand, she's a Brooklyn. She lives in Brooklyn, and she drew this sketch. But my issue is that YouTube. Is this how we want to present Black people in Black History Month? Yes, we're rhythmic people. We're expressive people. Yes, we dancing. But is this what it is? I mean, look. Every woman in here is in some version of dance. From this sister right here, breaking it down at the grave fro, that's your grandma. This, little overweight sister here. This one got Black Lives Matter. Everybody just dancing. Black folk are more than just dancing. But more on that later. Why no men? I know, Jessica. Interesting thing to me as well. We can't tackle everything. Let's get into it. You see the title of tonight's show. Who is good enough for modern women? Who is good enough? Last week, YouTube was ablaze in this whole survival discussion. the whole survival discussion. Do modern women think or believe they need men to survive? And the notion that modern men don't need women to survive. I honestly didn't think it was that alien of a concept until I start realizing, as I've started to dig more into this, that modern women really don't understand who men are. Don't understand how men work, how much money the average guy makes in this country. Just completely disconnected from who men are, to the point where I even had to say, well, do they even realize that without men, you could not have the freedom you say you have? And I will tell you, many of the platforms and panels I heard discussing my video were just outright silly. I'm to the point, I was to the point on one, I'm just like, goodness gracious. Do you folks even listen? You know, shout out to Brother O'Shea Duke Jackson. He was actually on a panel the other day, and I started to actually chime in and write something in the comment section. I say, forget it. But I would tell you that in general, when I saw panels and groups of women, this was the overall sentiment. This is yet again another example of selective hearing and a very piecemeal, disingenuous discussion of my very straightforward and clear premise disguised as truth. When I said the men don't need women to survive, I meant it. We don't. And survival, not reproduction, meaning survive to the end of your days. I laid it out very clearly over and over and over again. But again, we seem to realize that many women seem to have a problem in this category, seem to have a problem understanding men want cheese pizza. It's like you just can't make it simple enough. But I will say this to any of the people who've been discussing this, you are all able to call into my show in real time and discuss what I actually say. What I actually say. And this is what I find more often than anything else. People who want to discuss what I talk about are wholly informed. I hear women talking about this whole high value concept, and they've been talking about it for about as long as we've been talking about over here. And as of yesterday, they were surprised that high value had more to do with more than just money. It was like, what? I thought it just had something to do with money. How are you talking about something and you don't even know how it's defined? Where am I going with all this? Because today, in my opinion, far too many modern women are just too informal with how you deal with men. You don't know men. You don't understand men, to the point where it's easy for you to just say things like, you know, this person isn't good enough. I don't need no 9-to-5 man. This guy's beneath me. To the point to where I had a video that I uploaded today, which is a throwback from last year, where a woman outright said that the guy she chose to make a child with wasn't good enough for her. But you know what? I'll tell you what. Before, let's just hear it straight from the source, because you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up.
And that for them, they.
In this moment,
Yes.
I cannot say what's wrong or right.
No.
I'll be nice to you if you be nice to me. That's all you want to go by Lewis. Okay. How are you? How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening.
You coming into a place. What do you have for me, Lewis?
Well, I have a question, and then I wanted to make a statement. My question is, why are you shaming women who
Get my likes up, people. Come on. Kick it. We need to be over 5,000. Lewis, what you're not going to do is what you just attempted to do. I said it a bit first and I'll say it again. I'll be nice to you if you're nice to me. But if all you can use is shaming language and these kind of things, I'll bid you a good night. You either have a conversation like a reasonable adult or you go elsewhere. Now, you can unmute yourself and attempt to do this one more again. I do not accept you coming in here saying, shaming this. No, ma'am. Nope. No, ma'am. So what you're going to do is you're going to be respectful of what, look, man, I'm having to raise my voice. I have pleasant conversations with everybody else. And because you may be in your feelings a little upset, I'm not shaming anything. There are 5,000 people who watched it. So what is your issue? Well, thank you.
It makes me feel like that it's making women feel shameful that they had kids by a man and that wasn't their plan for life. Like that's not their life.
Excuse me. So see, hold on. This is how old are you?
I'm 30.
No child gets born that a woman did not want to bring to this world.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that I'm making them feel shameful for a choice they made, no. You choose to be a parent that has consequences.
I don't think choosing to be a parent is a negative thing, and
I never said it was a negative. First disingenuous thing there. Can't even make a simple statement that choices have consequences, and automatically they go to where it's negative. Well, let me say this something else. There was a discussion yesterday to where I heard a bunch of grown women asking a guy who was under 25 if he believed that having a child lowers a woman's value. And to the successful simp, you can say what you want to. That's nice, but ladies, you know it lowers your value. We're gonna have to have a conversation about this too, because it's almost as though many women today just think that men are not supposed to say anything about anything. And what you're going to hear in this conversation is a very angry woman try to act as though she's not angry. And the anger is at reality. That knowing that whatever choices you make, okay, cool, but they come with trade-offs. And women and modern women, I got to be honest, when are y'all going to start having these conversations amongst yourself? Because it's almost like some of you feel like that nothing diminishes your value. You can believe you're a 10, and just because you believe it, that's what it is. But you're not getting those outcomes. Thing. I just said it has consequences.
I think with everything in life has consequences.
But choosing to be a parent, okay. But see, what you came on here trying to do is you telling women that having a child that they didn't plan or the life didn't work is shameful. Man, life is about
No, you
choice.
didn't let me finish.
Well,
you didn't let me finish.
Well, because
I was
first,
saying that
you're not going to talk over me. When you come in here telling me that it's shameful what I'm doing, you can say what you have to say. You have 20 seconds, but be respectful.
I'm not saying that what you're saying is shameful. I'm saying it will make a woman feel shameful. That you're saying that because they have a kid, there's no future in that for them. They can't find it. They're not going to be able to be married or get a husband or anything.
Oh, that's not what I said. But I mean, but let me make it real clear. We do need to bring shame back because ladies. Well, because here's the thing. I talk about a certain caliber of man, and these men don't want children from another man. Ma'am, do you not think? Okay, do you have any children?
Yes, I do.
You have a son? Okay, so your son makes something of himself. He becomes an attorney, a well-regarded attorney, 35 years old. You think that he should bring home a woman with 3 kids by 2 different dudes?
I think he should bring home a woman who he loves.
No. See, you didn't answer. No. See,
yes,
see,
I think.
No. See, no. I didn't even get the question out of my mouth before you decide. See, you know what? I'll let you go ahead. You think he should do what?
I think he should bring home whoever he please, whoever he's happy with.
Right.
Just because a woman doesn't have a kid doesn't mean that you're going to be happy with her.
Ma'am, where's your husband?
I've turned down 2 proposals because,
okay.
Oh my God, I don't even want to go there.
How many children do you have?
I have 1 child.
Okay. Why are you so upset that I'm telling the reality that men want? Men don't want women who have children by other men, especially productive, competitive, especially productive, competitive, successful men. Higher value men choose overwhelmingly to start their own families. See, what you have a problem with, man, is men finally saying what men have always thought. If you don't want the downsides or consequences that come along with being a single mother, get married before you have a baby.
I appreciate the truth and the honesty.
Then what's the problem? But what's the problem with saying?
I just don't feel like that's
feelings, man. What's the problem with you cannot overtalk me? You cannot overtalk me. You cannot do that. Calm down and just respond. You can unmute yourself, but you can't overtalk me. See, this is another reason dealing with women with children. You get overly emotional because your children are important to you, but they're important to you, not us. You can unmute yourself.
Wow, that is not true. You're one-sided.
Excuse me. No. Your children are important to you. They're not important to us. It's like my child is important to me.
High value man.
Excuse me, ma'am. Your child is important to you. It's not important to us. Ladies, understand. Your child is your child, but it's just a person to everybody else. And it's like she wasn't listening. She was listening to get angry and respond. There's 7 billion people on the planet. Everybody's somebody's child. And see, we got this thing in the Black community also. Well, we seem to place variable responsibilities on all of this stuff. Sometimes we deify things and sometimes we minimize them. Which one is it, important or not? And this is what I'm listening to women like her talk about because they're all over the place. It's like, well, I turned down 2 proposals. Yay. That's nothing to be proud of. Oh my God, you're just one-sided. One-sided? Wow. To hear it coming out of some women's mouth that anybody's one-sided. No, you're finally getting the other side. And can't get their mind around the fact that, well, wait, let's get to it. And here's the real question.
Who is us? Who is us?
Other men out here, the public. You
consider yourself a high
Excuse me, man. No, this ain't about me, ma'am. And let me make this abundantly clear. Everybody keeps trying to make this about me and my opinions. This ain't about me. Watch the show. It's not about me. I've been saying this for 9+ months when talking to women. It's ain't about me. Men come in here overwhelmingly supporting, saying what it is. When men finally listen to what I'm saying, the majority of men say, yeah, I get what he's saying. That's what I believe. Even some of my most ardent critics, when they finally listen to a broadcast end to end, they can't deny the logic about that's what they think or what they understand. That's what these men think. It's not about sitting over here under one man like I'm Solomon and I'm making pronouncements. But see, that's the way you want it. You want it that way. So if you can debunk me, then you don't have to listen. That's not going to change anything. The ship has sailed. This thing is out and moving. Every day I'm out in Atlanta moving around, I run into people who are saying, anyway, this is happening. The conversation is happening on both sides. And the people who are stuck in the gender war, stuck on this side or that side, are the ones doing the most kicking and screaming. Why didn't you marry the man you chose to have a child with?
He wasn't good enough for me.
Well, then, why didn't you marry the man you chose to have a child with? And her answer was, Jessica X, your moderator, he wasn't good enough for me. Ladies, if there are men that you can say were not good enough for you, cool. Then by simple logic, you have to understand that there are men that say you aren't good enough for them. That's the critical part of this whole conversation. That's why this high value thing is so important, because finally we have sat down and defined what so many women have been saying they want. They want men of a certain income, certain socioeconomic status, certain network, certain je ne sais quoi. And it comes down to higher value. That's what many women say they want. That's the reality. So the people who don't like the concept of high value, take it up with the women. It's more than just about money. But ladies, if there are men that aren't good enough for you, by common sense, there are men that you're not good enough for. Now, see, these men over here traditionally won't talk to you, won't deal with you, because they don't want the problems, especially in the culture and the times we have right now. They know just by simply telling you the truth about what they think, they run an economic risk. Come on, man, look at what people, they know if they can't say it. They know they can't say it, but every day in my Instagram and my emails, this person, that person, this company executive, this star, this multimillionaire, this person now, this, hey man, keep this on the low. I can never say it, but love what you're doing out here. But they can't say it. And they know that I'm not going to say it because I'm very good at doing favors and keeping secrets. That's why I will be successful, because I'll make myself a success. And that's the thing, ladies, you got to understand that when men go to make themselves the best version of themselves, they have to do a lot of crap, especially as a black man. And when you get to that point to where you can say, I'm a self-made man, I have done this in spite of where I came from, my trials, my overcomes, they want a reward. And to think that you can just bring them attitude, well, that guys want 3 simple things: cooperativeness, fitness, and natural hair. That's what brothers have been asking for the longest. And then no children. That's really they want 4. But I said 3, 4. And I didn't put the fourth one in there because some people have children. But most men don't want you to come to the table with kids. But it is so outrageous to some women to think that that actually lowers your value. Well, the only way it doesn't lower your value, well, it lowers your value no matter who you are. Well, what about Sierra? Sierra had a much higher value. You're not Sierra. If you don't want a child to really impact your value, you better be an 8, 9, or a 10 to start with. But see, we're used to hearing one-way aggression in our community, in the world, and in the black community in particular. We're used to hearing women say anything, the worst things about men. We're used to that. We grew up on it to the point to where even men will attack men for telling women the truth, because you're telling the truth to their mama, their sister, their big mama, their cousin, their niece. And men who are raised in a matriarchy will tend to defend the matriarch. More on that later. But it doesn't help you. Defenders of the matriarch tend to get praying mantis at the end. Why is this important? Because this woman sat here without a blink of an eye and said he wasn't good enough for me. Now, I want you guys to ask yourself a question. To every man in the conversation, that if a man in general, black men in particular, had said, I had a baby with a woman, I made a baby mama, and somebody would have asked that black man, why didn't you marry her? If he said out of his mouth, she wasn't good enough for me, what do you think would have happened? In the chat room, what do you think would have happened if a black man would have said about his black baby mama that he made, I didn't marry her because she wasn't good enough for me? What would have happened? Shout out, Nate. What would have happened if a man would have had the audacity to say what we hear so often? He wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough. Oh, he's good enough to have a baby with, but he wasn't good enough to marry. Now, as we go on, it was more of these. Well, I was young and I was this. Let me go through some of these reasons because I don't want to play the entire video. Go watch the video. It's on my channel. Life isn't one side. I was young. I'm allowed to make a mistake. Ladies, there's hope. I'm angry because the world is full of nasty, tainted people. People go through stuff. It's an experience. I was young. I was stupid. I made a decision. Everybody does it. He wasn't mature enough. I made a baby. There are no good men out there. And that's just a little bit of what happened in that conversation. So, okay, fine. All right, ladies, fine. Let's grant the argument. The men you chose to be with in your past, whether you had children or not, weren't good enough for you. Okay. What men are good enough for you? Meaning, are good enough for you off the rip for you to be fit, feminine, cooperative, submissive? Which men are good enough for you in the world today, walking this planet? Give men today what you would be willing to kiss the ring for. Gentlemen, is that a fair question? Shout out Omega. Ladies, is that a fair question? What men do you deem good enough? That's what I want to hear from the women today. The women who say men XYZ aren't good enough, but these men are good enough to get my cooperativeness, my submission, my femininity, my best effort. These are the men I am willing to be that ride or die off rip for. Who are these men? Because you can say, this one ain't good enough. By extension, you got to say somebody is good enough. And the next question, for the men like the caller, and I thank her for being honest. She was very honest. And she wanted the ladies to believe there's hope, even though she had given up hope. My question is this, ladies, for the minority of the small segment of men that you do deem good enough, are you good enough for them? Are you good enough for the men that you say are good enough for you? See, it's just a high value conversation in another way. Are you good enough for the men that you say are good enough for you? If you are good enough for them, how many other women deem them as being good enough? And are you willing to compete with those other women for that one guy? Because by mathematics, there are more women here trying to compete for that one rare man that's good enough. What are you willing to do to get that one man that's good enough? What did I tell the young lady the other day? Stop trying to get other women where you are and do the best thing. Get yourself there. See, that's where this conversation is going with the high value man conversation. You either are or you are not, or you're in progress. Men accept the fact whether they are high value or whether they are in process. Hit squad. Henry's in training. High value in training. Men accept that. Men don't sweat whether or not they're high value. They either are or they are not there. Because men have a hierarchy of which respect. But ladies, where are you at? Where are you at? Because the clock is ticking. And the things you say you want, you're not going to use sign language, shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. You're not going to sit back and tell men they need to change something. We're at the peace table. We're at the Treaty of Versailles. It is time to come to negotiation. It's time to carve up Europe. It's time to decide who goes where. Are you ready to win? Who is good enough? Who are these men? What do they have? Are you good enough for the men you say are good enough? Are you willing to compete with the women who want him? Oh, yeah, it's time to get there. Understand something. When we go into the call line, ladies, we got to get the likes up, man, because I will go to the intermission song again. We got to get the likes up, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, get the likes up. Because my goal is this, to help identify the men that women say are good enough, to bring those men to the table, to bring the women who are ready to get with these men to the table, put them in the same place and let nature work itself out. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This ain't about me. I'm going to get what I want out of this by helping people get what they want. I'm not going to sit. There's an old saying. You can't plant a tree and make me sit under it. In other words, you can't craft an identity and make me have to be the thing. I'm not going to allow people to craft an identity. I'm here for why I'm here. And it's transparent. It's been there every day, day in, day out. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, last year, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, week in, week out, 10 p.m. The work is there. The work is there. And the people who want to benefit are going to be willing to do the work. That's what I respect. I respect work. We're all brought here, flawed, broken. Everybody I've ever worked with was imperfect, just like myself. But you know what separates the men that you ladies deem good enough? They were willing to do their work. You know what separates the women from the other women, gentlemen? The women who are willing to do the work. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. But first, yeah, man, that's that good stuff right there. I love talking about the work, because the work is something they can't take away from you. The work is something that will always be there. Nate, Ike, Jessica, when we are long gone, dead and stinking in the ground, the work that you do will go on after. And we all get a choice to show our work. Remember that beginning of last year, hashtag show your work? That's what we get a chance to do. We all get a chance to hashtag show your work. Speaking of which, let's show some work right here. Shout out to our first the prize winner, Brittany B. Everybody's saying congratulations to Brittany. Brittany B. Brittany is a 32-year-old, originally from North Carolina native, now residing in Dallas, Texas. She's currently pursuing a career in real estate while also maintaining a small business creating beautiful handmade home decor. In her free time, she enjoys traveling, exploring new adventures, including socializing and learning something new from everyone she meets. Brittany is passionate about being the light you want to see in the world, being optimistic in every situation, and always lifting those up you encounter. One day she prays to be a beautiful, loving wife, mother. Her heart and mind is ready to love and inspire. As an aside, she's volunteered and donated to the Autism Society of America, and she is a non-denominational Christian. Ladies and gentlemen, our first prize recipient, Miss Brittany B. Later this week, she's going to be on the platform. I'm going to actually, in the monologue portion of our presentation, interview her. And at that time, whatever method of contact she's going to have, Instagram, LinkedIn, preferably LinkedIn, will be out there for everybody who may be interested in connecting with her to network. Or if you're interested in shooting your shot, guys, we got to do this in the right way, though. So, ladies, this whole prize thing, we're building it as we fly it. So Brittany will be able to tell you all the cool swag and everything else she gets. But I'm going to actually take her photos. And when I'm actually in Dallas, there'll be a photo shoot that takes place down there. She's going to get her own photo shoot. And I'm going to use my platform to help promote the prize and the catch. Like I said, it ain't about me, people. You can try to make it something it ain't, but it ain't about me. Shout out to Brittany. There we go. Let's get into, what are y'all saying in the comment section? Let me get out of here. So I know she was probably a little nervous about seeing that pop up there, but good job, Brittany. I've spoke to her several times behind the scene. Good person. Good person. So let's get into it. Remember, gentlemen, well, more on that later. More on that later. All right. So we're going to open the call lines up. And as we open the call lines, let's do the damn thing. I want to hear from the women who feel like they are, because I want to know what men are good enough, ladies. What men are good enough? And are you good enough for the men that you say are good enough for you?
Yeah. Luna. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, me olvidaré. Yeah. Luna. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como...
Let's get it, people. Ladies, who is good enough? Who's good enough? Who is good enough for you? Ladies only. If you want to be a Money World Girl dancer, what I need you to do is submit your dance to info@bykevinsamuels.com. It's in all my videos. make sure you have your clothes on. Thank you. And you may end up just getting put up there. Yep. The two ladies up there are going to be submitting full length dances too, but I still want them to be out there. Then, of course, I'll lay down the audio to get the audio better, get the audio louder. But what I want you guys to also see is this is a show by a real person. This isn't a Hollywood production. I am who I say I am. And you are seeing me for yourself. Go back from the beginning. I built this show in front of you. Build a plane while you're flying it. That's one of the beautiful things about being on YouTube or influencer. Authenticity. People can actually reach out and touch you. It's in the movie. I'm not John Wick. I am who I say I am. Let's get it. Boop, 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 boop. Remember, you must be on camera. If you're not ready to be on camera, you cannot be here. All right. Who is good enough for you?
I rebuke.
Yeah, I don't know. Moderators, drop the chat room back in the line. There we go. As they're starting to come in. And money world. Well, then that's your okay. So what I need you to understand, on the open dating market, you come into the open dating market with a baby from a man you say wasn't good enough for you. To us, to men like myself, to men with good sense, that would says she is a poor judge of character because she gave a man the highest honor a woman can give any man on the planet, a child. Right. And then she gave a man who wasn't good enough for her a baby. You're sorry, ma'am. Don't get upset. Hello, Sissy. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Hi, Sissy. How are you? With your little cute self. Go on in. What you got for me? Hold on. Let me do this. So that's all right. You're just talking to me. Good enough. Who's good enough for you?
For myself, I would say a man with a vision, for sure. Because at the end of the day, with men, I was raised a Christian. I recognize the fact that men are the head of the household, and being the head of the household, it's important that you have to have a vision, and not just a vision for your life, but actively have things in place that are actually showing the fact that you're working towards that vision. And being his helpmate, which is my responsibility, is I have to trust my man, and I have to know that I can trust him with my life. And then when I have children, with my children's lives.
How old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
24?
Yes.
Okay. So a man with a vision.
Yes.
Because of the Judeo-Christian ethic. What's the oldest man you'd be willing to date?
To be honest with you, I like my men who are older, so 40, to be honest with you.
Because because plans and things like that typically don't come until after 30.
Yes, exactly why I like older men.
Yeah, I will say that most men, our brains don't really click completely on until 30.
Yeah.
Were you raised with mom and dad?
I was raised with my parents, and then when I was 16, my parents split up, and then my parents got back together when I was 21. Okay. But I moved out by 18 for school.
So, are you seeing anyone right now?
I kind of am, yeah. Because of the advice that I've been, listening from you, and I've been working on myself and everything. He ended up actually being a high valued man, 37 years. Well, he's going to be 37.
Okay. So to everybody in the Zoom room, you need to turn your cameras on. If you're in the Zoom room, I'm asking you to all turn your cameras on. That's how it goes. What's your longest relationship you've ever been?
2 years.
And when did that end?
In 2017.
Whoa.
I know.
So you were, 2017, you were 20 years old. So
I was 21, so I'll be 20. I'll be 25 March 6th.
So it was college.
Yeah.
It counts, but you haven't had a relationship since.
A serious one, no.
Okay. What's the hold? What do you think the holdup is?
The holdup for me was that when I was still the guys that I was like seeing, one of the things that I heard, well, after that relationship, I heard a common trend saying that, like, they said that I had a lot of damage. So what I did was that I took a step back. And my mom said, Cece, you really need to heal from some of your past trauma. So I took a step back and I went to therapy because I was on and off with therapy, like while I was in college. And so I went to therapy for a year. And I realized I'm still in therapy. I love it. But I realized that I needed to really heal myself and really work on myself and really understand and learn men. That's one of the things that I did within the last year. Really learn men.
Okay, so let me do this. Therapy is supposed to be good, but we're not supposed to love it. It's supposed to end.
Okay.
It's supposed to end. When I hear somebody say you're 24 and you've been in therapy before for a year, therapy can become a placebo, and it can also become a comforter. Eventually, you're going to have to get back out here and actually date. Because if you haven't had a serious relationship in 4 years, arguably, I could make the argument that your relationship previously was puppy love.
Well, yes,
No.
yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, because you were under 21.
You're right.
And the thing is, yeah, I know, because the thing is, it may, at your age, it may seem as though it was the real deal. And I don't try to equate pains, but, and without going too far into it, I will say this. Dating is something that a lot of you younger women need to start doing. You need to get out and start dating men. That doesn't mean having sex with men, but that means get out and date. You're not going to theoretically make yourself ready to be with a man by reading books.
Okay. Experience is probably the best teacher. You're right.
Let me put you to the side. All right. Who's next? Start YAVE. She just put herself in there and she went away. All right. So everybody in the Zoom call, if you're not going to get on camera, if you're not going to cam up, you might as well leave because you're not going to get on the show without being on camera. Jasmine, your audio is connecting. Jasmine. Uh-oh. Your audio is connecting, so let me bounce that out. Exit full screen. Tania B, you got to be on camera, not facing the ceiling. Jasmine, go ahead and unmute yourself. And then YAVE, you're next. Jasmine, go ahead and unmute yourself. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, you need to turn off every other window in the background. Turn off every other window, all YouTube and everything else in the background.
Okay.
All right. Your first name is?
How do you do that?
You close them down.
Let me do this. Oh, there we go.
Everybody in the comment, everybody in the Zoom.
Did that work?
Yeah. So your first name is what?
My first name? It's Jasmine.
What do you got for me, Jasmine?
I'm just on here. I was looking at what the topic was today as far as a woman's value and the children that they have. And I was having a discussion in the chat with a couple of the guys. I feel that I don't think children necessarily devalue you, but I do believe that it is baggage. That is something that a man would have to take on.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay. Do you have any children?
Yes, I do. I have 3.
Are you married?
No, no, I have not been married yet. I've been engaged.
Okay. Were you married to
Never
any of
married.
the? I mean, are they all from the same father?
Two separate dads. I was engaged to my oldest son's father.
Okay. So I got to ask you, as a woman, why don't you believe that children lower your value?
As far as like, because I'm still the same person, me as a person, I'm still the same with or without the children. My personality hasn't changed. What I offer hasn't changed. Anything like
Where
that.
you? Where?
Now I
Okay.
do.
So you're talking. Okay. So let's go 300 years ago. 300 years
Okay.
ago. Would having children out of wedlock have lowered your value?
In that instance, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Normally,
Then I need you to listen to something.
okay.
Human beings are still the same.
I agree with that.
Men are still the same. If it 300 years ago it lowered your value, well, in 2021 it lowers your value.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. But I feel that the times have changed.
Men haven't. Where'd I get this from? Where'd I get this talking point from? Where'd I get it from?
Probably from yourself, like how you value.
No. How long have you been watching my platform or my programs?
I just joined this month, and I've
How
been
many of
watching you
you?
for maybe another month and a half or 2 prior to that.
Then if you've been watching me for a month and a half, it should be abundantly clear. And I'm not just, I talk with facts, figures, data, statistics. I talk about what men want. But see,
Right.
I find it interesting that women, when they don't want to hear something, they can all of a sudden block out everything that I know you have had to hear. I said it in this broadcast 3 times, and I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about what men want. How often are you around men who want to get married?
Not that often. I don't know.
Well, then I challenge you to do this. Go find a bunch of marriage-minded men with no children and ask them, does a woman with children have the same value as a woman without children?
Okay.
See, your value is lowered because, one, like it or not, even though we don't put the same price on it, you're not a virgin.
That's very true.
But not only are you not a virgin, there is actual physical proof that you've had sex 1, 2, 3 times, and you have given a man the most valuable thing you can give a man, your womb.
Correct.
That means that if a man you were going to marry, he would be depositing the 4th occupant, and the previous 3 did not have to marry you. Men don't want to pay more than a previous guy did.
I agree with that.
So it lowers your value.
I can understand where you're coming from.
So
I can.
But in your mind, it was because I'm the same person.
Right. I guess I'm referring to value as far as what I would bring to the marriage personality wise.
But are you the same person?
Not the same person as I was when I was 19 and had my first
No.
kid.
You're not the same person you were before you had a child.
No, because I was a kid.
No. It was because you had no children. You may have also, see, 2 things can be true at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You may have been a kid, but you also weren't a mother. You look at life differently now as a mother versus if you had made it at 23 with no kids, you still would have been a kid in your mind, but it would have been childless. You're not the same. You're a mother. Case in point, you find the man of your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like God sent him to you. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You feel like the angels delivered you to them and it's stamped on his head, God sent. Right?
Right.
Ready? You got to choose between your children's life or your husband's life. Who do you pick?
Mm.
There you go. That is all
You're
we
right.
need to hear.
You're right.
Because your primary your biological imperative is changed. As soon as you had a child, your biological instinct says to protect the child. And see, if you and me were together, that child will at least be mine. So I'll be willing to die for you to protect my child because you got it into the next generation. But if that child's from another man, I'd have to die for another man's seed to keep going.
Mm.
That ain't how we work.
Well, when you put it like that.
Yeah, that's what I need you ladies to understand. It's not just a thing to ding you ladies and be like, no, guess what? You made a mistake and you got to pay for that mistake. That's not it. It's to really get you to understand that when a man comes in a house or whatever his residence is, an apartment, a townhome, a house, and if he's paying 100% of the bills or 50% of the bills, he's still feeding. Part of his resources are going to pay for 1, 2, 3 other men's children. And if he has a child with you, anything he would put in, he can't provide for his kid and not provide for the other, right?
That's true.
So that means if he put in $100 to the family, just by division, $25 will go to his kids and the $75 will go to the other kids. Versus if there were no other kids, 100 of his dollars would go to his kids.
Right.
It's just how we think. I mean, this is the reason in the animal kingdom when males take over females, they tend to wipe out the cubs.
That is also true. I appreciate you taking the time to kind of break it down in this way, because the way that I was interpreting what you were saying prior to, without you going into detail as such, made me think that the value you were referring to was more so me as a
moralistic.
person.
It was moralistic. It's like, man, you're a bad person for having kids.
Correct.
No, it's not a moralistic thing. It's really just it's very pragmatic for men. Now there are people who moralistically believe that, but that's not what we're talking about on a fundamental person-to-person level.
Okay.
So, all right, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. See, you can have a conversation with people as you match energies. All right. Next up, in the I'm gonna put you all in you all get back in. Whoever's camera's on, everybody comes. So when I talk to one person, I'm going to put them in the Zoom room, and the person whose camera's on, I'll be talking to them, and then everybody else will go back. All right. Oh. So how old are you? Why are you? Okay. You done mute yourself. You can't be on the phone either, young lady. Unmute yourself. YAVE. Okay. You can't be on the phone. How old are you? All right. So what do you have on the topic for me?
Treat me right, great, and then who
Okay,
be
hold on. Slow down. You're talking a little quick. You're 25, and who's good enough for you will be somebody who's very ambitious, who will treat you right, and then go ahead.
Who will be great for the father of my kids eventually when I have one.
Okay, you don't have any children now?
No.
Okay. Where do you live? What state?
I live in Massachusetts.
Okay. When you say ambitious, what does that mean?
Ambitious will be somebody who wants to make progress, who wants to like every day, like in the future, they see themselves become somebody, not for say a high value man, but somebody who can provide and be here for me, like to like progressing with me.
Well, ambition, you can, okay. Let's brass tacks it. Are we talking about ambition as far as earning?
As far earnings, as far as earning career wise,
Well, but the
life
career
wise
wise,
as
but you
well.
can you can progress in your career and not earn a lot of money. You can be a writer, an ambitious writer. You can write a lot, but it's not necessarily gonna make a lot of money. Ambition, do you want it tied to an outcome? You can be an ambitious video gamer. But let's talk brass tacks. Are we talking about a financial outcome?
Financial outcome will be one of them, but it's not
Okay, let's get
necessarily gonna
into
be the main
well,
one.
but see, this is where we start to kind of because you said ambition and treat you well. Do you want to be married?
Yes.
You want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant?
I would like to work, yes.
Okay. Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant?
Yes.
You want to physically have to work? Okay. So it means after you have your children, you'd be willing. You don't mind having to take 12 weeks off to have your children, and then go back and put your kids in daycare or whatever, and then you go back to work.
Absolutely.
All right. What percentage of the house? How many children would you like to have?
I'll say 2.
2. And what percentage of the household family expense would you like to carry for a lifetime?
I'll say mine income combined with my husband income. I'll say as of right now, maybe about
Listen, I said what percentage of the household family what percentage of the household family expense would you like to have to carry for a lifetime?
oh I'll say oh, I'll say about maybe 2,000 a month.
No. Percentage.
Oh, percentage.
Yeah.
Maybe about 40%.
Okay. 40%, $2,000 a month. If $2,000 a month is 40%, that means y'all are making about $60,000 a year total.
Well, for myself only, I'll say for myself, I would
No. This is why I need you to. Okay.
my
See, are you no. Listen. See, this is math. This is real simple. If you don't get married and don't have kids, what percentage of the financial responsibility are you going to have to be prepared for you?
I'll say 100%.
Exactly. If you don't get married, don't have kids, you got to pay 100%. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're married with 2 kids, how much do you want to have to be prepared for that? For a lifetime?
I just told you 40%.
40%. Okay. 40%. All right. But then you also said $2,000 a month.
No. So I thought you were talking about in terms of like income, like what would it be for myself?
Okay. How much does it cost? How much do you think it would cost to have a middle class lifestyle, a family of 4 in Massachusetts?
Family of 4, I'll say about 200 to 300K.
Give me one. 2 or 300 those are big numbers. Those are big differences. Which is it, 2 or 3?
So I'll say 200K.
$200,000. What part of Massachusetts?
I'll say maybe somewhere like South Shore, like Braintree.
Is that out? Give me a major city. Is it outside?
Major city will be Boston.
Thank you, Boston. $200,000 a year. All right. Are you making $80,000?
75.
75. So you would want a man who's making $120,000 to get a family income of 200.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna stay at 75 forever.
What percentage of men make
Hello?
over? What percentage of men make over six figures?
I'll say 10%.
Do you care if he's black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or other?
I don't care. No.
Okay. Cool. When was your last relationship?
About a year ago.
Okay. And how much did your boyfriend make?
I'll say he made 65.
Okay. 60. How long were you guys together?
About 2 years.
3 years. Did you go to college?
Did he? No.
Did you?
Oh, yes, I did.
And you got your degree? You graduated?
Yes, I have an MBA.
Okay. Congratulations.
Yes, I did.
But I said, okay, there may be a slight delay.
Thank you.
But what I'm ultimately trying to get to is that's just the financial portion of it. You may want to work. That's great. I'm glad you want to work because most people are going to have to work. But then you say he treats you nice. What does that mean?
Treat me nice will be loyal, respectful, truthful, definitely trustworthy. Then we can get along for sure.
Anything else?
Treat my kids right, definitely. And
What do you
then be
mean?
here,
Hold
be
on.
present.
Slow
for
down.
sure.
Slow down. You mean his kids, right?
My kids, like yes, all kids.
No. You mean
basically.
his kids?
Yes.
See, now it's starting to be. You ladies
Hello?
don't own children. You ladies don't own children. They're not yours. Let's start there. They're not yours. They're his.
Mhm.
And an MBA. Your last guy made 65,000. You want him to make
Mhm.
you want him to make over six figures, and that's okay. The percentage of men who make that amount of money is pretty small, and the guys who
Mhm.
have to do that work a lot. Are you going to want him
Mhm.
to be an active participant in the rearing of the children?
Yes.
Then this is insane. You want it all. But let's just go down that path. You want a guy in Boston making 50% more than you're making at 75. So you want him making more than that. And you want him to be a loyal, trustworthy alpha, which is what every woman tends to want, a loyal alpha. You still want a high value man. You've just defined it a different way. And you want him to be able to go to PTA meetings, this, that, such and so forth. Great. That's what a man that'll be good enough for you. What is he going to get?
He's definitely gonna get loyalty for sure. He's definitely gonna get submission for sure. And I'll say he's definitely gonna have a supportive wife.
If I asked your last boyfriend,
Mhm.
if you were submissive, what would he tell me?
He will tell you yes, absolutely.
So who ended the relationship?
We both decided it was
No.
it wasn't working.
No. You haven't watched me long enough. That didn't work. People don't come to a conclusion at the same time. Somebody ended it.
It wasn't working out.
Yeah. So is that why you ended it?
Yes, I've fought and fought and fought,
Exactly.
and it was
So
not
what I
working
want you
out.
guys to understand is I just asked this person who wanted the truth. Who ended the relationship? Said we both did. When that's not the truth. You ended it. It's okay, you ended it, but most women do walk away from relationships because men tend to stay. And ma'am, what I'm saying is what you're wanting from your description is an extraordinary man. He's a top 10% earner. He lives in one of the top cities in the United States. And you want him to be an active participant father in the nurturing and raising of the children. Plus, he needs to be a loyal alpha. And due respect, and what he's getting is that's an exceptional man. Would you not agree?
Yes.
And are you giving him exceptional back? Because what you just described to me, ma'am, no disrespect, sounds pretty basic.
Mhm.
Is that agreeing it's basic, or do you not agree it's basic?
Yeah, I agree.
So why would an exceptional man who has to go out there making an exceptional man be able to have that being good enough just to get back basic?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with personality for sure. And how I mean it can be basic and I know that he can find it anywhere, but the relationship, how
Mhm.
we are together, that's another story too.
All right.
Like,
Can you cook?
what is it?
Can you cook?
Yes.
Do you have a recipe book?
No.
So when you cook, do you just follow the directions?
Yes.
What are some of the things you can cook?
I can cook. So I'm Haitian, so we do a lot of like home meals,
Okay.
for sure. But I can also prepare like some dish, lasagna, pasta, salad, like anything basically. As long as I have a book, somebody show it to me, I can make it for sure.
So what percentage of family meals are you planning on preparing?
But everything I can make.
No. What percentage of family meals? Meaning, are you planning on what percent? See, I'm asking what percentage of family meals are you planning on preparing?
Mhm.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I'll say about 50, 60%.
So okay, and who's preparing the other 50 or 40%? Him?
I can still make it too. Yeah. I'll
Okay.
say 100%.
No. You said the truth first.
Mm,
Yeah, you did.
I'll be making it as well.
No, he will. See, like, ma'am, you want a man who's working his butt off to bring home the lion's share of the responsibility and then still do almost equal work at home.
But I will also be working as well.
I didn't. So, did anybody misinterpret what I just said? Look at Mel. She's smiling. I'm like, this is okay. This is modern women. This is a man that's good enough. I'm not making this up, people. And I appreciate you for being honest, because truthfully, you want a superhero. You want him to be a 6-figure earner, an involved,
Honestly,
nurturing parent. No, we've already lined it out, ma'am. No going back. We've already lined it out. 6-figure earner, nurturing, and doing work around the house, cooking, cleaning, just like you. That's an exceptional man. And what he gets is pretty basic.
so in your opinion, how do you think our standard needs to be?
Well,
Because I'm fine
not
with
my
anything.
opinion. Okay. Well, I think that your standard is what you're asking for from a man, what you're offering is very high.
Mhm.
From what I honestly say, like it or not, women can pretty much. You look at your SMV, and that's about what you can get as far as income, socioeconomic status.
Okay.
You're wanting a man who is in the top 10% of men. Plus, he has all these exceptional characteristics and qualities. Then I say you need to be a bona fide solid 9 with a straight up 9 as a body, feminine, friendly, fit, cooperative, and submissive, raised to be a housewife. But you ask my opinion, because
Yeah.
what it is what you basically described. Is you've described a modern woman. I went to college. I have an MBA, and part of my requisite for a man is him to be at least at my socioeconomic level, my educational level, even though we didn't talk about that, but it's in there. And then I still want him to go out and earn like a provider male, even though I'm willing to work. but you still want him to be able to cover things while you're out, while you're not while you may not cover, while you may be on maternity leave or whatever. He's going to have to cover at least 60 while you're doing 40.
I'm in Massachusetts, so we get paid maternity leave right now.
Ma'am, that's nice. But the bottom line is, I want you to go back and look in the comment section and listen to what the men are saying. Get past the insults and the craziness, because that doesn't sound like that. That does not sound like anywhere close to being a balanced deal. That sounds like it's heavily, heavily weighted in your favor. You want everything.
But don't you think you're saying 100K is a high value man. But don't you think these men also needs to build a relationship with their children, because they're not going to stay young forever? It's a serious question.
You want my answer? That's the part of the problem. We've tried to make men be everything. You want him to be everything. Okay. I'm gonna answer your question. You want him to be a man and a woman. You want him to be a modern man, but yet he's supposed to provide like a traditional man, and you are not being anywhere close to a traditional woman.
But I will still provide. That's the thing.
All right.
All right.
But I want you to understand something. Your last boyfriend made half of what you're talking about. How long were y'all together?
For 2 years.
And he got all access to you. Now you're older. Listen, you're older. If you're a vehicle, more miles on you, and you're asking for double the price. $165, double the price is $130. That's about what you're asking. If you're making $75, you want $200, give or take $5,000. People, I don't make this shit up. I don't just talk. It's based in the reality of what women say they want. And whether you like my approach or not, it tends to bear itself out through conversation. Thank you for being honest, though.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your advice.
Okay. I think it's a massive ask. Just a second, man. I think it's a massive ask. I mean, damn. Guys are just like, well, what do I get for being all this? Oh, you just get basic stuff. Let's do this. Mel, unmute yourself. Unmute you. Hello. Hi, how are you? Good. How old are you? Hold on just a second. Yes, I can. Hold on. So, modern women. What's good enough? What do you have for me on the topic? How about that?
Or I feel like I can fully comment.
Well, we're talking about, high value is just something in there. Who is good enough for modern women? So who is good enough for you? You muted yourself.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Who's good enough for you?
I would say as long as the individual.
Okay, you keep muting yourself. Keep your hands off the screen. All righty then.
Okay.
Keep your hands off the screen. All right.
Okay, got it. As long as he can provide at least 70% of the income for the family that we decide to have, which I would like to have at least 2 children.
How many do you have now?
I have 0 children currently.
Okay.
And mentally as well. I do not I mean, in an ideal world, I would not like to have to work to, help provide.
What state
for
do you
us.
live in?
Oregon.
Oregon. How much would it take for a family of 4 to live a middle class lifestyle in Oregon?
With the numbers that you talk about, I'm actually not positive because
Give me a number.
I think that a combined income of middle class here would do that.
Give me a number.
You give
me a number.
Maybe a combined of like 150K, I think would probably suffice.
$150,000 in Oregon. 150. Okay. And of the 150, you'd want him to be making 105. You'd still want a man in the top 10% of earners. Because you'd ideally not like to have to work. Okay.
Well, I mean,
No,
honestly,
no.
you can have a high value.
No. I'm talking. I'm listening. And I'm doing my part. I'm listening to what you said. You want your kids to be able to go to a private school, magnet school, this, that. You want them to have a middle class lifestyle. All right. 150. But you said you want a man to be able to provide 70%, ideally 100. But you'll take 70. 70.7 times 150 is $105,000. That's still men in the top 10% of earners. Okay, at 29 years old with no kids. Did you go to school? College?
Yes.
Okay.
I am in the dental field.
What?
I'm in the dental field.
All right. How long have you been watching my program?
On and off for a few months.
All right. So men who are in the top 10% of earners, you know the questions I ask. How tall are you?
I am 5'4". I am about 160.
Dress size?
I know my pant size. I don't think I know my true dress size. My pant size is 6.
Dress size? You're 5'4", 160. You're probably about a 12.
Yes, 5'4", 160.
You're about a 12. 10, 12.
Okay.
10, 12. And the thing is, see, that's still wanting a man who's a much higher earner. And this is where it gets to be an uncomfortable conversation because all you ladies seem to want these men, but these men who made themselves the best version of themselves, who have to be in the top 10, they want women that look good, pretty, beautiful and gorgeous is what they really want. Fit, feminine, cooperative, submissive. So would he be getting a fair deal?
Excuse me?
Would he be getting a fair deal based upon the things that most men want? I mean, from the fitness standpoint, you're born with what you're born with as far as physicality, your face and everything, right?
Yes.
But the fitness thing is something that everybody can do something about.
Yes. I stay active and I do work out. Am I working on being more fit? Yeah,
ma'am. This is where it becomes uncomfortable because at 5'4", 160 pounds, you weigh about what the average American man weighs. He's 5'10" and 168 pounds. You're 8 pounds less than the average American man.
Okay.
And see, this is why people start saying you're being rude and this and that. But who's going to have these conversations? Because you got women up in Boston and Oregon still wanting men who are these high earners to be able to facilitate 2 children and women not having to work. One wants 70%, the other one, or you want the same guy pretty much in Boston or Oregon. And I'm like, well, what is he going to get from you? What does he get for being a top 10% earner and all the other stuff? What does he get?
If it comes down to what I guess you're saying a 21-year-old can provide versus
A
what I can
21
provide,
year old? What is that 21-year old? I just said 21-year-old. I said, what does he get?
the same thing that he would get, like I said, from a 21-year-old. I can't say that could give better than that, other than things
No, you're
like
not getting the same thing as a 21-year-old, because at 21,
high
arguably you
value.
were no 21. You were 8 years younger. You had
Right.
8 years less miles on you, and presumably you were in 8 years better shape. See, this is one thing that you ladies don't seem to take into consideration. Men are visual. And many women today just say, F it. I'm just going to be me. I mean, the nose ring thing, that's not helping you. Being 5'4", 160 pounds, come on. You need to lose some weight and get in shape. I mean, I can't be the first. But it's like, what I've noticed is many times on my platform is many women have been basically like, well, he's gonna pick me or nothing else. Guys are choosing nothing else because women tell men what they think they deserve by their attitude and their appearance, and simply by most women's appearance. Now, I'm not going to make this about you, but by most women's appearance, by just simply choosing not to be in shape, you're telling men that they don't deserve much. Because let's say you met the guy of your dreams and you guys got married and you were 160 pounds. You got pregnant. You're going to put on 30 to 50 pounds. That means you're going to go from 190 to 210 at 30 years old and have another kid. You're not going to drop all that weight like you would have dropped in your early years. Likely he's going to have a wife after 2 kids that's going to be tipping the scales around 200 pounds. At 5'4", 190, 200. And men who have to earn 70% of the family income, preferably 100%, either way it's over 6 figures, they're saying no. Would you agree or disagree?
Sure, we can say I agree.
Well,
That's
how about
fine.
this? Have you ever dated a man seriously who earned over $100,000 a year?
Over 100,000? No.
Okay. Then why would he have to be that to marry you?
I mean, when I think of my husband, I don't primarily think of his income, honestly.
Well, yeah, you do, because you want him to be able to pay 70 to 100% of all the family income. You better think of his income. That's what you said.
Yeah, I guess practically I should be thinking about his income, but when in my brain, when I'm thinking about who I would like to marry, his income is not the first thing that comes to my brain.
Okay, well, most men don't earn that. This is where the conversation also gets uncomfortable. Average people get average people. And what's average income?
I would say probably around 70K.
Shit. You're black?
Yes.
Yeah, the average black man makes $42,000, $41,000 a year. That's average. 41,000. The median family income in this country for 4 people is $61,000. I ran these numbers down last week. And again, guys, remember, this sister's out in Oregon and she thinks the average black man makes $70,000. This is what I mean to my critics. Don't like me, get upset. But day in, day out, women are just don't know who men are. So you got a sister here sitting back thinking that a man should make $70,000. And that's damn near twice as much as the average black man. At almost 30 years old. Could you date a man who's making $42,000 a year?
Yeah.
Could you marry him?
Yes.
Could you have babies with him?
I have to work.
But why shouldn't you have to work when 72% of all mothers in this country work full or part-time? Why should you not have to work when 7 out of 10 mothers in this country work? Seriously, what's so
Because
special about you to where you shouldn't have to work when you're already working right now?
would I prefer to stay home with my children to be
Okay.
more involved in raising them
Right.
over working 40 hours a week? Yes.
Well, okay, but let
But
me
if,
ask you the hard question, ma'am. Were your mother and father married?
yes,
Okay. Are they still married?
very recently divorced, actually.
Okay. Were you raised and trained to be a housewife?
Uh, I'd probably say no, but am I
And
learning?
that's why
Yeah.
you can't stay at home, because you were not raised and trained to be a housewife. You were raised and trained to go to work. And I got news for women who think that being a housewife is a life of luxury. It's the hardest job you'll ever have.
I completely agree.
But the men who can provide that kind of income want something for their money.
What is it that they want?
Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, and
And
submissive.
someone to care for their family and support them.
Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. Right off the rip, the fitness isn't there. Fit.
Okay.
It's something that every woman can do with something about.
And other than being fit, what else are they looking for?
What did I just said 5 things.
Okay, other than being fit, the F's, what else? Is that
Fit,
it?
feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive.
That's it?
That's
So if you don't
That's it implies you can do that in your sleep and you ain't done it yet.
So if you don't fit all 5 of those, then what?
Well, men are the men that you want. Just like that woman said, a man wasn't good enough for her. Men can say women aren't good enough for them. The kind of men that make the kind of money you want, they can have standards too, can't they?
Yeah.
They can say what they do and don't want, can't they?
Yes.
And if they say they want fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless, attractive women, whatever, are there women out there that fit that?
By the time they're 29, it's far and few in between. But yeah, sure.
By the time who's 29?
A woman who is those things, or at least half of those things, at least have kids by now.
Wrong.
Okay.
Wrong. See, no disrespect, man. But this is what kind of goes on in women's mind, that thinking that, just like when I talk to the average at best woman, well, the women that these guys would want don't want them. And I was like, I can't beat these women up with. No. There are plenty of young women out there who are all these things looking for these guys. You guys have been given bad information to think that, well, you got to choose for me. No, they can choose. They can find them. And they are finding them. Their preference may be to date inside their own race, but maybe they'll go outside of the race. Maybe they'll go somewhere else. But the bottom line is, men deserve what they want, just like women deserve what they want. If we've been telling women they can have everything they want, but men just have to accept what women are today. And women are not giving men in general, especially in our community, you're not giving men what they want. You know, just like I know, men want women who are in shape. I know you've heard this. I've heard this my entire life. So this isn't new information. So saying that, what do they want? That's it. Well, if that's it, they should be able to get it in spades. So, but I would say that average people get average people. And wanting to be stay at home with your kids, that's a luxury. That's a luxury afforded to, from what I've seen from young women who either marry with a guy who has potential, or a young woman who marries an older guy who who has the means, but it's still a young woman's game. Men typically don't go to women in their the biological wall is 30. Men typically gonna go look to pick women at the wall to make housewives. So all right, have a good one.
Thank you, Kevin. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See, what we're learning is, and all these conversations have been good. I think we're getting somewhere that is just slow. But ladies, many of you are almost like you're Neo. Many of you seem to think you're the one. You're going to be the one to get it. But Boston to Oregon, they were asking for pretty much the same man. So when I hear my critics and detractors saying, well, all these women don't want high value men. Well, really? That's what I'm hearing. Oh, well, Tanya is not going to get on camera, so we're going to just remove you. Chris, you're not on camera, so we're going to remove you. Rosa, you're next. Then we're going to go to Danielle, then Mariah, Anise, Allie, and Brandy. Okay. Rosa, be ready. Cam up. Oh, Rosa, your microphone's not on. Sorry, your microphone's not on. Danielle, go ahead. Rosa's microphone's not connected. Danielle, hello? Unmute, Danielle. Okay. Danielle, unmute. Hello? I can. How old are you? 30. What do you got for me on the topic? What do you have for me on the topic?
Relationship that I'm no longer in. And I was just wondering what would be considered, I guess, acceptable for me with like the whole dating game.
Now we're on the topic of who's good enough for modern women. That's where we're at right now. You're asking another question.
Okay.
Do you have anything on the topic first?
Well,
okay. You have a child.
Yes.
Were you married to his father?
I was not married to his father. I was engaged to his father.
Okay.
And
okay. Let me stop right here. Ladies, no offense, but it would be kind of best if y'all stop saying that because it's almost like a consolation prize, and it doesn't matter to men.
Okay.
It really does because I mean, it's like many women I have talked to. I know I've been married, but I've been engaged. It's almost like, okay, why weren't you guys married? Why didn't you guys get married? Why wasn't he good enough for you to marry?
So he had mental health issues, and I tried to stick it out with him, but he.
When
did
you find out about these mental health issues?
I found out about these mental health issues before I had my son.
So that begs the question: why did you get pregnant by a guy you know had mental health issues?
It wasn't smart, Kevin.
Okay.
I thought that I could help him.
Okay.
I guess I was trying to play savior. I am a Christian woman, and I believe that if I, hung in there with him.
Unfortunately, because I got to move the people on topic, but unfortunately, at 34, and how old is your son?
12 years old.
That's probably going to be Wednesday's show because that whole notion of kids lowering value, because at the end of the day, you got a 12-year-old and you're out here dating. I don't want to be too quick to judge, but it is going to make it difficult depending upon what you want. What do you want? Do you want more kids?
I definitely want one more kid.
Do you want to have to? Do you want? What kind of lifestyle do you want to live?
So I expect to basically live comfortably, meaning
Comfortably,
just
me.
not.
Comfortably. Are you in what? Are you in New York?
I live in New York.
What part?
Um, I live in Long Island.
Long Island.
Yes,
Comfortably. How much would a man need to make to provide a comfortable lifestyle for you and 2 children?
I would say 100,000.
What?
100,000?
Huh?
100,000 a year.
No. Not in Long Island. How much is your rent?
Well, my rent is $2,000.
That's
But
24. Listen. That's $24,000 a year. If you got two
right,
more people, you double that size. That's 48. That's half the money right there.
yeah. But I
No,
make that,
no.
so that's why I was just
You
trying to
make
find like
you
an
make what?
equal,
You
not
make
like
what? You make
somebody
what?
who's
You make what?
100,000.
Yeah, but I asked how much would he have to make? You mean 100,000 in addition to your 100,000?
Right. So like an equal.
That's $200,000 total household income. What percentage of
Right.
men make that money?
What percentage of it would I be willing to
What percentage
contribute to
of?
the bill?
Do you care if he's black or not?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Is your son's father? What race is he?
My son's father is Puerto Rican and black.
Okay. What percentage of brown men make 10% of $100,000 or more?
I'm not sure.
What? Give me a number. Guess. Out of 100%, what do you think?
Out of 100%, 10%?
Yeah, around 10%. A
Yeah.
very small number of men. And this is another six-figure man, black man or man of color. We've gone from Oregon to Massachusetts. Now we're in Long Island. You're all looking for the same man to have two, and it doesn't matter. 34 with 12-year-old, 25 with no kids, 29 with no kids. You're all looking for the same man, and you're wondering, why don't y'all look for guys who are just regular guys, especially a woman that's got a kid with a
Right.
father
I
who
mean, I
had.
don't mind a regular guy,
What
but
does a
I need
regular guy
somebody.
make? What does a regular guy make in this country?
A regular guy in this country makes about $45,000
Right,
a year.
but that ain't what you want.
That's not what I prefer.
Well,
But
what do you
if
got
he
now?
treats me good and
What
doesn't
do you
cheat,
got now?
because
What do you got now?
nothing.
Exactly. And at 34 with a 12-year-old, this is why it becomes difficult, because many women are still asking for men as if they're in their young early 20s with no kids and in the peak of their physical shape and hotness, and you're not.
Well, that's the thing. Even in my 20s, Kevin, like I
Okay.
was a skinny mini. I didn't have like this hot
Okay.
body.
I've tried to address
So,
it. I've tried to address it as much as possible, but we're off the topic. Call back on Wednesday.
okay.
All right. Okay. Rosa, you're up. I can't. I can't. I mean, it's like everybody wants the same guy. Do y'all realize do y'all realize why a man making six figures? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Hi, how are you? I'm good. How old are you? Oh, happy birthday. Uh, what, 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 what men are good enough for modern women? Okay.
So I just want like a man who actually works and gets out there and make things happen.
Are you
That's
a New
responsible.
Yorker too?
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn in the house. Okay. You have any kids?
Yeah, she's 10.
Okay. And were you married to her father?
No.
Why was he not good enough to marry?
I think we were both not in that headspace at that time.
Okay. You
I
were
don't think,
26 or 25 or 26?
yeah, I was
Does he have
25.
any other kids?
No, he didn't at the time. He has one now.
Okay. But now you're looking for a man who, do you want any more kids?
I do.
How many more?
As many as I could have. 36. I'll say 3.
And what would a man need to make in Brooklyn to support a family of a 10-year-old, 3 kids, a wife, and him? That's a family of 6. How much money would he need to make?
Well, in Brooklyn and the way it is, like about 100,000 or so. That's with me working.
And what do you make?
I make 60 right now.
Did you hear the previous caller?
Yes, I did.
She was in
And
Long
that's
Island. She was in Long Island. Listen, she was in Long Island. This is why I need you guys to understand how inconsistent you ladies' math is when it comes to calculating men. You're in one borough. She's in another. She's 34 with a 12-year-old. You're 36 with a 10-year-old. She wants 1 kid and a man making 100,000 for a family income of 2. You want 4 kids for a family of 6 with a family household, but you still want to make 100,000.
yeah, I know.
But listen, hold on just a second. An audience, I need you to understand why men who are in this category have options, because every woman seems to want these guys.
That's ideally, right? But like I said, I just really want somebody who's responsible and actually
Well,
works.
first off, ideally, ma'am, a family of 6 on $160,000 in Brooklyn, no, ma'am.
I'm willing to move too.
But that, first off, I say that because the cost of living is too high. I say that, but listen, you can't overtalk me. Because when I start talking about math, I think women start getting uncomfortable because, no offense, but y'all just really don't seem like y'all really understand how much it costs to facilitate a life. You're talking about 3 additional kids if you could have them. You make 60 and you got a 10-year-old. All right? That's a lot. You'd have to, a family of 6, you're talking $300,000, $400,000 a year to live a middle class. But you said even just unrealistic on the numbers. Because then we got to ask, what does he want? And what is he going to get? Again, why can't you ladies just deal with date average guys? He works at the MTA.
I'm willing to date a guy with the MTA.
Okay, but he's making $45,000 a year. He ain't gonna make no more. That's it. That's all he's gonna make until retirement. $45,000.
And I'm okay with that, honestly.
Okay, cool. Then you are doing far better than most. You are far better than most because you get far more men to pick from. If you're willing to date a man who's right there in the majority of guys, if you're being serious, you got far more options. But
I'm very.
But having 3, 4 additional kids, 2, 3 additional kids, that's going to be a lot of financial strain on $100,000 in Brooklyn. That's just too much. But
let's move out of Brooklyn.
Okay, well, you better move to Oregon. Oregon up in the space. Oh my, Shanice. Oh. Is Brooklyn in the house? Shanice, go ahead and unmute yourself. Everybody want these 6-figure dudes. Shanice, go ahead. Hello? She muted herself back. You got to unmute. No problem. How old are you? 26. Who is good enough?
Just like answer your questions.
Well, do you have any kids?
No.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I work in tech. I make like over 6 figures, and I guess my question for you that I have is, let's say if we're talking about like high value man, I'm not sure what your definition is. It seems to revolve around like 100,000. If I'm asking for somebody to be my equal, which is make the same amount as me or be in a similar industry, and and like have their, or at least be ambitious in some way. They don't, let's say they don't have to make 100 figures, but like 100,000, but let's say like they're making 40K, but like they're killing it as a
So you're
teacher.
talking too fast. You're talking too fast. Slow down. I've
But let's
defined
say
what
they're
I mean.
killing it.
I've
Yeah.
talked. I've defined what I mean by a high value man many times.
Okay.
He has to make a certain amount of $10,000 a month for 3 to 5 years. Other high value men has to recognize him as a peer. He has to have a network of high value men and other people. What he does is LinkedIn level, meaning visibility. He can't just have a vague title like I'm an entrepreneur. I mean, something like I'm the head of VP of Mergers and Acquisition at Goldman Sachs, and then he's
Or
useful to
senior manager
other
at
group.
Amazon, for example.
Okay, so that's in general what a high value man means in basic terms. So you're in tech. And you're doing what many women do. You're putting your education and your income into your sexual marketplace value. And that's not how it works with men. Saying somebody who's your equal is what's in the mirror.
Okay.
When it comes to men, that's the harsh truth. That's where we start.
So I guess like the asymmetry is that women look for like value in terms of what they provide. Men look for value in terms of what women look like. Is that what you're saying?
Women look for resources, men look for beauty.
Okay.
So what's good enough for you?
What's good enough for me is somebody who is ambitious, regardless of their income.
Okay, again, I've done this before earlier. You could be an ambitious Yu-Gi-Oh player. You could be an ambitious esports gamer. Let's be honest. You want somebody who has resources. You don't want somebody making $30,000 a year.
I'm fine with somebody making $40,000 a year, for example.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let us do this then. Let us do it. How much are you earning annually?
120.
And what state do you live in?
I live in Canada. I live in Toronto.
Canada, and you're 26. I'm gonna put you ladies back, and I'm gonna bring you back up. Do you want children, Brandy? I'll bring you
Yeah,
back.
eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, not right now. Yeah.
And you'll be fine paying the lion's share of the bills.
Yeah. Maternity leave in Canada is cool. So
No. If you had a guy making $40,000 a year and you're making how much? 120. So that's 160 total. So that means 160, and he's making 40 divided by 160. So yeah, that means every time you went
making a third of what I'm saying. Yeah, he's making a third of what I'm making.
Yeah. Actually, 25%. So
40 over 120 is a third.
I thought you said making 160 or a third. Okay. So bottom line is this: if you had a $3,000 mortgage or a $3,000 mortgage, you're paying $2,000. He's paying $1,000. You got a car note that's $500. You're paying 2/3 of that. He's paying 1/3. Everything that happens, you order a cheeseburger at McDonald's, you paying 2/3. He's paying 1/3, and you're doing this for a lifetime with no problems. You're gonna still be cooperative. You can still be cooperative, submissive, respectful.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm currently living. I'm already paying for 100% of my bills.
No.
So I would be getting a discount with this person.
No. We're not skipping one to the other. We're gonna process what I said.
Yeah.
You're gonna still be yes, sir, no, sir. That cooperative, submissive. You're not gonna pull financial rank on him.
Well, I could be cooperative, submissive without being yes, sir, no, sir.
See.
But I'm not going for somebody who's six figures.
Okay,
like,
you don't overtalk me.
Sorry,
You're already showing problems right now. Right now, you're already showing them.
Okay.
Glad you got a cat. You may want to hold that motherfucker for a long time.
I'm currently in a relationship.
You currently what?
I'm not single.
You're not married.
No, I'm not married.
I mean, if you want to cap, we can cap. I'm saying a conversation I'm having with you, and you've overtalked me so many times. I'm sitting here trying to slow you down. At the end of the day, if you had it figured out, you wouldn't be here. So why are you here if you already know? And you're already in a relationship. Why are you here? Why don't you just move on? Let me go ahead and move on since you already know.
Well, because
Go ahead.
You're asking an open question. I just wanted to answer it. Yeah.
But you already know.
But it's good enough for a modern woman. I wanted to give my 2 cents.
Your 2 cents at
I
26
wanted
years
to
old.
I wanted to see what your perspective was.
Wow, you
I
already
wanted to
got a
ask you
man.
what your
What's your
perspective
man
is and
thing?
what my thought is.
How long you been with your boyfriend?
A year.
Okay. Are y'all getting married?
Not anytime soon, no.
Right. Uh-huh. Does he want to get married?
Eventually, yeah.
Does he want to get married to you?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's early. I don't know if I want to
No,
get
it's really
married to him.
not.
He
A
doesn't
year
know
is not
if he
really
wants to get
early.
married to me.
A year is not really early because the follow-up question I was going to ask you, since you already got a man, my perspective really shouldn't matter. It should be your man's perspective that matters.
Yeah, that does.
What does he think?
What does he think about
Where's he at? Where's he at?
He's at home.
Okay. So you're here, we're talking about relationship, and that's about what's good enough for modern women. And you're involved in a relationship with a guy, and you don't know whether or not you guys aren't trending towards marriage, but you want to be married one day.
Mm-hmm.
You do or you don't?
I do.
By what age would you like to be married?
In my 30s. Like
In your
32.
30s could be 30 in one day
32.
or 39 and
32.
30, how old? 32?
Yeah, 32. So let's say 6 years from now.
Okay. And how many would you like to have children?
1 or 2, yeah.
Which one? 1 or 2?
It depends on how like the first one goes. But 1 for sure. And then if like the first one goes well, then the second one would be good.
Okay. And one child I grew up as an only child. It sucks. Don't do that to a kid. But anywho, once you're married, do you want to have to put your kid in daycare or you want to work the entire time?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna work, so we're gonna have to do daycare. Yeah. Hopefully by the time I'm 32, I'm making significantly more than what I'm making right now.
But significantly more, okay. But again, you're prepared to be the breadwinner.
Yeah.
Okay. And what tends to happen to relationships where women tend to be the breadwinner? What does the dynamic tend to be like?
Oh, that's dependent on the personality of the women.
No, it really doesn't.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you want me to answer. I think it depends.
Okay.
Like if the woman is making 55% and the man is making 45%, I could see a very like dynamic and like equal partnership relationship going on, even though she's like the primary breadwinner in terms of percentage.
Mm-hmm. So it's just equal. It's just an equal power distribution. We're just living in a utopian environment. You're pulling 2/3 of the financial load, but it's 50-50. Actually, you're still cooperative and submissive, just not saying yes sir or no sir. Right.
Yeah, I mean, like I have an opinion, but I want that person to be assertive as well. I want them to tell me what they think, and I want us to get to a common ground where we both agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very masculine thing to want.
Some people like that.
Yeah,
some guys like that.
They're called bitches. Bitches and beta males would be the kind of men that would put up with a domineering masculine woman.
So only bitches will go for a woman in equal partnership?
No. Masculine. I say you're not equals. That's the thing. Men and women are not equals.
Equality, yeah, equity. I don't mean like exactly the same. I agree.
I said what I said is masculine.
Okay.
You can be two sides of a coin, but a feminine versus masculine. You're in your masculine energy. You want to get on the same page and everything else. Normally, I would tell you to put your dick up, but your cat already ran away, so your pussy left.
Well, my cat's here actually.
Okay, well, put your pussy up.
I'm not sure. Like, so okay, so you're saying that I have a masculine energy, is what you're saying. So I have to tone down my masculine
Oh, I'm
energy.
not telling you you have to do anything. I'm just telling you have hella masculine energy.
Okay, I agree with that. So what do you think I should
And
like?
masculine
What's your
energy
advice to me?
and masculine energy draws feminine men.
But my current partner isn't feminine at all, though. So I don't know how that works.
Alrighty then. Well, you found the key to the nether zone. You found the masculine man that accepts a masculine woman. Does he out earn you?
No.
Alrighty then. Exhibit A. Ask yourselves a question, class. If she worked at Walmart, would she have nearly the same amount of masculine energy? Ladies, I'm not telling you what you have to do. I'm just telling you what I see. You can do what you want to do about it. You can do what you want to do. You can do what you want to do. All right. Of the last three of you guys, does anyone have a disagreement? If you have a disagreement or a conflict, raise your hand in the chat room. The reason this high value conversation took off the way it did is because I said it last year and there were a lot of pushback that it doesn't matter from GED to PhD.
I'm a PhD.
From coast to coast, socioeconomic status, looks, child, amount of children, weight, whatever. Women across the board for the last going on a year tend to want the same group of men. Can we finally admit that this is women, when given, I want a man who's making at least, this is what they say they want. All right, well, if this is what they say they want, these guys have options. And if these men have options, just like human nature, if you have options, you're going to exercise them. Okay? You're going to exercise them. You're going to do what you need to do. You're going to be able to facilitate what you want to get out of it. I don't make any judgment about what people say they want, what women say they want, or what men say they want. That's fine. If a woman wants a certain kind of man, a certain caliber of man, certain lifestyle, that's fine. I just ask the ultimate question. What do you want? And what are you willing to do to get it? I thank everybody that came to the show. Even the last caller, it was a bit contentious, but the thing is, if you want to be in your masculine energy, strength draws challenge. Ladies, understand that. If you want to be strong, understand, expect to be challenged. That's it. I would say thanks to everybody to show up tonight. Tomorrow night on Insta, we got some more people. Tomorrow night on Instagram, we're going to be following up on this. And then on Wednesday, I still want to talk about the black tax. Boy, we missed so many teachers. But we got to get into this subject of why it seems to be that so many women don't seem to understand what things lower their actual value. In particular, kids. I got to figure out how we're going to talk about it because it's a sensitive subject and I want to approach it with the respect and decency it deserves, but we got to have a conversation because there are far too many women who seem to be mistaken or not clear or not understanding that children do indeed lower your actual sexual marketplace value for the majority of men. There may be some guys out there who will say it doesn't, but I don't deal with the, tangential stuff. If you're looking to be a money world girl, do me a favor, send me an email, hit me up. This was a good video, good show. I like it when we do it like this. In and out, quick and painless. That's good stuff. But like I say, guys, good stuff. Until the next time. Peace. We are gone. I'm a PhD. Rebuke them all.
I rebuke.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No, it's not hard to fool me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah.
We got up to almost 21,500 people. The train has left the station. We are moving forward. We are moving forward. We are moving forward. If you are a woman and you want to enter the prize, what you do is you send your application in my website, The Prize. Fill out your application right here. Fill out your application. Then you're going to also want to send a headshot, a above the waist, and a full length shot of yourself. Make it look nice. Single. 35 and under, preferably for women. For men, 45 and under. No kids. This is not for me, it's for people. No kids. Need to be LinkedIn level. So I wish you all need to have your LinkedIn together and your IG together because the group is looking at these things. If you're selected from the applications, you get a follow-up email, courtesy call, move to the next round selections. We're going to do 2 a month until we get this thing moving. Then when we're moving, hopefully by mid-year, we'll have it moving, a pattern, a routine to where we have 1 every week. Like I said, help people get what they want, and you'll get what you want by the end. Shout out to Brittany. Good stuff, chica. Can't wait to announce some of the things that are coming up. Oh, yeah. All right, folks. Have a good evening. We're gone.